Can you sit down nicely? Okay, can we sit down? Once again, I'm sitting down to film and the dog won't leave me alone. He's having like some kind of crisis. Sit here. So as I was saying, I have to stop myself from using my hands while I talk, because when I flail my hands around, he's like, yes! Okay, so there's gonna be some noise in the background of this video. I apologize, but not a lot of ways of getting around it. I don't really want to shut him out of the room because I've been out all day. So today I'm gonna talk about my recent favorites. It's gonna be my September favorites because it's around that time in the month. But I feel like in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna have some more, because there are some that I'm kind of working on right now and I'm not 100% sure about them, and some things that I feel like maybe they're gonna be misses. It might be round about a time for a disappointing products video, so look out for that. He couldn't be being noisier right now. What have you got? Like, where did this even come from? I feel like this month's been a rediscovering old favorites kind of period for me. One of the things has been this, which when I first got it, I was completely obsessed with. It's the Nude Tude palette from the Balm. And the main reason that I pulled this out was because, I mean, you know how it is. Gets to autumn, winter and start experimenting with eyeshadow again. And don't judge my eyeshadow by this either, because this is like full work day later eyeshadow. I think it's held up pretty well. But I was looking for something like this, preferably a matte colour, like a dark kind of burgundy, purpley colour. And I pulled this out because I knew there was a really nice one in here. And to be fair, that is the standout. Like, if I had to get rid of this palette, I mean, really, there's 3 shades in here that I completely love. But the matte colours from the Balm are just absolutely amazing. They do a matte, I think it's called Meat Matte. They do a matte palette, which I would be sorely tempted to buy because they are so excellent. Really, really, really pigmented. You only need the tiniest, tiniest amount, and very, very blendable. Can't get my words out today. So that's the reason that I started, is the colour Sexy. And I've been putting that kind of on the outer corner, and then I've been using, I think, Seductive in the middle, and then this champagne-y colour, Standoffish, on the inner corner, or the very, very, like, the inner part of my eye. Full disclosure, you guys that have been watching me for a while will know I'm terrible at eye makeup, no good at all with any kind of eyeshadow. Do you know how I have been applying this, or what inspired me to be a bit more creative with my eyeshadow, created by my standards? It's Pinterest. So I've been using it tons for my blog, just because everything you read says Pinterest is like blog traffic and you should use it more. And I always really, really liked Pinterest as a regular Pinterest board, you know, like hairstyles and stuff for the house and, you know, various crafty things that I pin and I'm never actually going to do. That kind of stuff I always use Pinterest for. But, you know, from like a promotional perspective, Pinterest is a really great thing. So I started using it more, and as I was using it more and pinning more for my own personal boards as well, I discovered all these different tutorials. So there's loads of step-by-step guides, and I saw one of them and it just looked painfully simple. I mean, my Pinterest is always linked below, so just check out my kind of beauty board I think I've got. And I've pinned a couple of things that I liked the look of, and there's several where they are just like step-by-step eyeshadow looks. It's insane. I'm going to start pinning more of them because I think it's really useful for me and for anyone that's just terrible with eyeshadow. I can't sit through an entire tutorial because I haven't got the patience for it, and I'm not going to put that much time into my eyeshadow. But this picture was just, it really, really simplified it. It was kind of just put it in the different sections of your eye and then blend it, basically. I have always put down a base and then added more colour and added more colour and added more colour, and I always felt like I had tons of eyeshadow on. And this was kind of put all the colours roughly where you want them and blend it out. Revolutionary for me. So I've been doing that a lot recently, those 3 colours, and I'm going to try more. I might even do a get ready with me soon. So that palette's been a big favourite this month. Also, a new mascara favourite, can you even believe? I have been a huge, huge fan of the Maybelline Lash Sensational for, I would say it must be going on for 2 years now, and I still absolutely love it, can't get enough of it. But I thought it was about time that I tried some new stuff. And I picked up 2 new mascaras recently. If you will have seen my haul, you'll know this was my favourite of the 2. This is the Volume Million Lashes Fatale. Fatale. This is in black. Ooh, adventurous. The brush looks like this. And if you like the Volume Million regular one, you'll probably like this. I remember that I loved pretty much everything from the range, so I thought I'd give it a go, and it's awesome. I love it. I might actually do kind of a top 5 drugstore mascara video soon, because I think I probably have 5 now that I consistently really enjoy. Because there's some in the past that I've been like, oh, I really liked that then, but I found something better. And I think I have 5 now that I like as much as each other. So that video might be coming. Another video that I have planned was spurred on by this. And this is the Gosh Prime and Set Mattifying Setting Powder and Primer. Now this has been asked about quite a lot recently, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was because it was the end of summer or what. But I do have a video out talking about this from about 2 years ago. And I was absolutely raving about this product. So I can date it because I had short, very, very blonde hair. So it was about 2 years ago. I was completely in love with this. So I made the video. I don't often make a video about one product, just saying this is an amazing product, you have to buy it. But after using it, I felt that compelled. It is just like a loose powder, and the idea is that you can use it underneath your foundation as a primer. A powder primer blew my mind, and you can also use it as a setting powder. I spent lots of money on some products to try and mattify my face at the worst times of my oiliness, and this was the only thing that I can say really genuinely worked. There was a point where, I mean, you're always gonna get the tiniest bit of shine, but it was pretty much matte. Didn't touch my face, didn't powder my face, touch up at all day, and at the end of the day, we've been shopping at the Bullring in Birmingham on a payday weekend. It was manic. I tried on loads of different clothes. It was not an easy day, and my face was pretty much matte at the end of the day, and I decided I had to film a video, so I did. About a week or so, because I did it really quickly, which is why now I don't really want to quickly recommend something because you never know. About a week later, I realised it was really, really drying out my skin when I used it as a primer, like horribly drying out my skin, which for someone with oily skin was really bizarre. It was making the texture rough and just not nice. So I stopped using it, and I kind of put it in my drawer, and if anyone ever asks me about it, I say I would use it for special occasions or occasions when I really didn't want to be oily and was worried about shine and not being able to touch up, but I wouldn't use it every day because I felt like it really, really dried out the skin. So, cut to now, I'm using it again, but I'm using it as a setting powder only. It doesn't completely mattify, it doesn't completely stop all the oil, but it definitely makes a difference, and it's not drying out my skin at all. So yeah, this is amazing, and this, because I've been using it a lot recently, made me think maybe I might be able to put together a kind of long wear drugstore makeup. Not a look, I don't know whether I could do like an entire face of long wear drugstore products, but I could definitely do a video on my favourite products that are long wearing. Another thing that I've had for ages and I started using again recently is the Lush Vanilla Puff Dusting Powder. This, I'm reading the back of it now, and it says, of course someone would be calling me. It's my mum. My mum texted me and said, 18 Pokemon caught and 2 hatched on the way home from work, not too old to play. There you go, proof that my mother texted me that. Moving on from the 50th distraction, yeah, this on the back says, puff onto clean, dry body before getting dressed or slipping into bed. Now, I kind of thought, and I don't know whether or not this is what they told me in the store, but I kind of thought the idea of the Vanilla Puff Dusting Powder was when you'd moisturised to take away that kind of stickiness so that you could get dressed or put your pyjamas on or get into bed and you wouldn't feel like you were getting that moisturiser all over your clothes or bed linens or whatever. So, I don't know. Now I'm wondering, but that's why I bought it, because I just can't be bothered, you know, with the whole waiting for something to absorb. I'm so lazy when it comes to doing it to begin with, and the fact that there's something else putting me off moisturising, that's why I bought this. And I've hardly ever used it. So I started using it again this week, and I just thought, I'll try and use it, and it's nice, yeah, whatever. I'm not particularly bothered about it. The smell is nice, but so is the smell of whatever body lotion I'm using, so it's not really a big deal. So I started using it as dry shampoo. Now, you know, the state of my hair right now, you might think, you definitely need some dry shampoo, and you would be right. But I'm gonna wash my hair tonight anyway, so I can't be bothered with applying more products to it right now, just to film this video. It's the end of my work day. But if you're using this loads, one trick that I did remember from once upon a time when I had very dark hair and dry shampoo was kind of still a new thing, people were complaining about residue, I always used to apply it to my hair before bed. So at night time, if for whatever reason I didn't want to wash my hair, didn't have enough time to style it or whatever, I decided not to wash my hair and that I had to be up early in the morning and I didn't want to do it that morning either. Then I would put tons of dry shampoo in my hair that night, rub it all in, and in the morning it was completely absorbed and it just didn't have any residue at all. And so because this is obviously more powdery, and I do tend to go a little bit overboard because it's difficult to apply it just from the little nozzle that it's got, I put it on at night time, brush it through, and in the morning it looks fine. I don't know, I've been just trying to find a way of using this up, and I found that was a pretty good one. The last thing that I want to show you beauty-wise is the NSpa Deep Cleansing Facial Oil. This is a facial oil. What else can I say about it? It says, melts away all makeup, even waterproof mascara. Not only does this melt away all makeup, because it's amazing for makeup, it's an amazing cleanser, I'm gonna use this in like, I want to say 30 seconds, but everyone knows I'm going to talk for another 10 minutes. As soon as I wrap this video up, I'm taking my makeup off and putting my hair on top of my head to edit. I have been using this for my makeup for a couple of weeks, but something that this is amazing for, that is a complete oddball thing that you wouldn't necessarily think to use it for, is wax residue. If you wax anything, whether it be your legs, your top lip, your chin, your bikini line, tends to leave a residue, and with the wax strips or the wax pot or whatever it is that you're using, you'll get like a finite amount of those little sheets that aren't particularly nice to use. They're like real papery. It's kind of like in like a public bathroom and they've got those horrible, just not soft toilet paper. It's kind of like that, especially if you're talking about the bikini line, and your face, just very delicate skin. You're not really going to want to put something that's rough against that area when it's just been waxed. Really, really awful. So partly that, and partly the fact that if you've got several wax strips and you're going to cut them off and use them for your bikini line, there's never ever going to be enough prep and prime, why can't I talk today? Prep and prime little sachet things left. And so I found myself using like body oils and various different things to get rid of the residue after waxing. This is amazing because it's oil, so it does get rid of the residue, but it's also a cleanser. So after you've oiled, you then have to kind of get soapy water or whatever and wipe away the oil. This does it all in one. So if, like me, you wax whatever part of you wax, and you are looking for a good residue remover that is also nourishing and softening and just soothing and nice, this is amazing. Love it for my makeup, love it for my face, also great for waxing or post-waxing. So there you go. Unexpected, great products. It was really cheap. I think I got that and the hot gloss cleanser from Asda because I ran out of cleansers. I got both of them on an offer where it was like 2 for £8 or something, so really good. And if I bought them again, I'd get 2 of the facial oils because they were amazing. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, 2 more things. 2 things that are non-beauty related. One is a podcast called If I Were You. I think I must have talked about this before. It's Jake and Amir. They are hilarious. I think they might do like a web series or something that I'm gonna need to check out, because every time I listen to it, they talk about this show that they used to do with various different people that are on the podcast. And I've never actually sought it out, but I'm going to do that today because it always sounds really funny. But I've been listening to them a lot recently, and I just introduced my colleague at work to them, and we listened to them whilst we're at work, and it's so hilarious. It's just banter. It's just listening to them chat with each other and laugh and joke constantly. It's really, really funny. Some of it is kind of like toilet humor and sexual humor and stuff. It's not going to be for everyone, but for me, I find them really amusing. I would highly recommend, if you are going to check them out, you check out one of the episodes with Ben Schwartz or Thomas Middleditch, because they're my favorite guests on there as well. That's actually how I ended up finding them in the first place, was through looking for more Ben Schwartz stuff on podcasts. I wish he would have his own podcast. I love that guy. And Beauty and the Beast, which I think I've mentioned in vlogs recently. Beauty and the Beast, the TV show, I have completely fallen back in love with. It's just awesome. If you're into supernatural stuff, if you're into like real high romance, but also kind of slightly mystery, she's a police officer, so there's always like a crime they need to solve, but there's also like a real heavy romantic storyline throughout, kind of destined to be together and yet can't be together for various reasons. It's awesome. I love it. It's kind of like my guilty pleasure. I think I've jabbered on enough. This has been like a super interrupted and uninteresting blah, but these have been my favorites. One more thing, I am gonna do Vlogtober. I started vlogging this week and I was terrible at vlogging, and so what do you do when you're terrible at vlogging and you can't remember to vlog? Say you'll vlog every day. Terrible idea. The idea behind it is that I will remember to vlog. Like, I'll remember to get back into vlogging, and it will remind me how I do it. So fingers crossed. From the 1st of October, I will have a vlog every other day. That's how I do these things. Every day I just don't do enough in a day, most days, to do that. But I've got some interesting stuff coming on. I'm going to Paris next week, and I'm gonna go and see a fashion show. Pretty excited about that. never been to a fashion show before, so that will be on a vlog. It'll be just be like, what am I doing here? It's gonna be funny, so go and check out that channel. I will link it below, and subscribe if you want to see the vlogs. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed this random ramble for a Thursday, and I will see you guys next week. I think on Tuesday is the new schedule with something different. Bye.